Hey collectors, Anthony from Hasbro here, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Studio Series, the movie 1986 Dinobot Snarl. Part of my presentation, I got everything cut together and really excited about this guy, and as far as I'm aware, I'm the first one to have him, but I want to build up. So, what I'm going to start with is my first Snarl, this guy here, and he was a plastic one that came packaged with another figure. He was kind of rubbery, not too fancy. He is the only Snarl I've had for a long time, until I got the Power Core Combiners Dinobots. So, you know, he was my only Dinobot anything. But, I mean, he did the job. Like, he got shrunk. You know, that's how I role-played him with my toys. My real Snarl Transformer figure, the first one I ever got, was this guy here from the Titans, where it's actually Prime Wars, but the Power of the Primes Volcanicus Combiner. And frankly, yeah, he is fine for a combiner. They do a really good job, as far as I'm concerned, with hiding the kibble for the combiner parts. I mean, it's right here. So, you know, how hard is that to hide? And he has a good look. I wish the mouth moved, and, you know, the tail just seems really bumped in there. But that is kind of accurate, I guess, to the movie. So it worked out really nicely for me. The fact that I had the entire set and they combined, you know, that was great. So to continue our little build-up, of course I want to recap the other Dinobots I have in the series. And first off is, of course, Grimlock here, and he's fantastic. He's a little loose for me in certain parts, but I mean, otherwise he's fine. He just doesn't stay all the way together. Although, as time has gone on, he's a little, I want to say he got a little bit better. I don't, maybe I just like him so much, but a wheelie sucks still. But what are you going to do about that? Of course, the next was Slug, and Slug just awesome. Because all these guys have, you know, open up, you know, mouths that open up, and like super optimistic that Snarl, which I don't think has ever had a mouth that opens, you know, be a thing in the new one. But you know, you'll get to see in a sec. And so I really just appreciate these guys. I was gonna say, where did I put his gun? There it is. So yeah, and then of course the guy before Snarl is Sludge here, and I have Daniel. I have Spike riding on top. This guy is some mass. So I get why he didn't have a little buddy with him. He is particularly heavy, but for whatever reason, my front legs are loose. But as you can tell, the front legs aren't really touching the floor to begin with. The gun kind of supports his whole torso. So I'm going to put these guys back real quick because I'm going to need room for the box. So let me just move these guys back to where they belong here on my display. And the box is the standard leader class box. Here, let me grab that. Caught it. Okay, got it. And here is the box for Snarl, and it's the same Studio Series 86 box as before. So Transformers the movie, Studio Series, Dinobot Snarl. Of course, on the side you got his face. On the back you have his transformation. The diorama is like a split-second scene that he's in, you know, in Autobot City, I guess. And again, his face. And then if we look inside the box, you got this paper cardboard set up here. We have the instructions and the don't hurt yourself paper. And of course we have the diorama, which is it's a pretty diorama. So here we go with Snarl. Now, he comes in the box in robot mode, but I want to be different, and everybody else in the brothers is going to review him in his, you know, robot mode down to his dinosaur Stegosaurus mode. I'm like, I'm going to be different today. So, taking a look at him, his head is bisected, which is weird, because they slide into his leg halfway, but I mean, at least his mouth connects, but there's like no blast port or anything, which is fine, whatever. On his belly, I had mounted the sword. He comes with this sword. It's a little harder plastic than I guess the prototype showed, because it seemed like it would lean over, but this is actually not too bad. Just a nice detailing on here. I'm really hoping that Swoop Probably going to be a Voyager class. I'm hoping he comes with the weapon kit so everybody gets their swords and he gets his gun, because that would be nice. Underneath, you know, you can see the legs are here, tail that folds into the back end right here. He's really well done, and so yeah, spectacular. His butt's a little flush, like even the Para the Primes went, like his tail ran down the backside, but this is kind of like just, it's jutting out the bottom. It's different. So transformation is this is like the rest of the Dinobots is a bunch of paneling, and Peekaboo. Pikachu. Anyway, it's just basically hiding bits and pieces, and just be careful when you do anything with his mouth, because I accidentally tore the jaw off when I was pulling it out. So it's like there's not a lot of room, and you just want to be very careful that you separate the mouth when you start to take it apart. And so it's just a lot of little things to keep in mind. The joints are really tight on this one, which, you know, a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you are, I guess. Inside here you see is this fist, and if it's not perfectly straight, it won't go in, let alone come out. So just something to keep in mind. And so so the foot pegs in to a hole here, and that's pretty much it for the how to hide the arm and get the leg out. Oh, come on. It might be easier if the fist is... Okay, there we go. Come on, straighten out. Some people said they've had better luck if they switched the fist an entire 180 degrees, but it didn't seem to matter for me. Everything is so tight on the joints that really, you know, what does it matter? Okay, so we've done all that so far. A lot of panel disconnection, because these are his legs, obviously. There we go. And by the way, these are like kind of they're about the same quality hardness as the sword. So just keep that in mind as you try to pull everything apart. His waist expands out here. I almost forgot about it because you need it to pull the last bit apart. Yeah, so don't do what I did, trying to pull it apart before taking it all out of the way. Move the arms out of the, or the dino legs out of the way, I should say, because you're going to need to be able to do this. As you see, he starts to come apart here. You cannot put the legs away all the way yet, because you got to lift up this panel here and flip the head in, and it fills in, like, there are no real gaps in this thing, so it's very nice. And then you can close these panels back up. Then we can finish off the legs. And as you see, you can do this. The toads are already out. There is, oh, you know what, before I forget, these go in, and I think these go down like this. Yeah, they do. Okay. It's like, I've only ever transformed this once, so trying to do this from single memory from 2 days ago. There we go. And then we close this down. Okay, I was wrong about there not being any real gaps. They're still like this, but I mean, from the front, you're never going to notice. Turn the legs 180 degrees, or actually, technically, I guess the spine. Anyway, arms up. We can separate the tail, if I can get it. Now, this is all one plastic unit, so you don't have to worry about bending anything. I wouldn't necessarily apply too much force, but, you know, I'm just letting you know. There's a area back here that you put your finger in to push his head forward. His head is just resistance. Doesn't seem to be anything holding it up other than resistance, but he's nice and tight in this one, so that's pretty good. Arms you can move down, push the waist down. As you see, he's now in frame. Okay, the back panel. So quick note about the back panel, it comes separate in the box, so you have to slap it on. Slap it on facing this way, just little 2 pegs here, And then once you have it in place, you have these in place. This just nicely goes into place here with another resistance thing. And voila, put his sword in his hand. Ugh, if I can get it in there. There you go. Sword is like a close call, because if you look, it's like if you're not exactly right, it's not going to go in. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And I feel like the only comparison I want to do for him is maybe Grimlock, because he's easily accessible for me. And here he is. Nice Grimlock. So obviously they're about the same height in robot mode, but you know, this is my favorite Dinobot. So yeah, he stays in this mode all the time, as with the other ones, which I'll show a picture of the group as I have them displayed on the shelf, what I have displayed. But I mean, if we just pan up a little bit, here's him in his diorama, and I've one more way until the set's finished. With that said, tell me in the comments your thoughts on this item. Did you get it, and how was your experience with it? Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.